passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on. So Newhoff in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani, not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Hayes deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
Say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And it definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down in towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is... Pike's pushed Morton far enough ahead. He's got out of line. Is now Pike going to have a go at Werrell? Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such up. He's touched on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
To the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's allowed to have fun. Yeah, and it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching. And the Burger King machine's off into the grass a little bit there as they're really bunching up now.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Old Guys Racing League Coffee Cut Round 9 live from Watkins, Glen. I am James Parfitt. I'm going to be joined in the booth by the wonderful Bradley Dalton, who is over in the sunny worlds of America and it's only just woken up as it's still morning over there. But we're on round 9 of 12, round 10. interesting one will be next week at Sebring. And then round 11 will be at Mosport. So that's going to be a very interesting development on how to handle that one. Then round 12, we will finish off with the Ring combined. 174 corners for these guys to contend with. Let's bring you up to date with the current scores on the doors. Jacob Elliott out in front on 535 points, with Johnny Hamby in second on 528. That's really where the main championship probably is going to come from, unless David Van Roy can do something spectacular on 485. Very unlucky last week. Very unlucky. Justin Laxton on 462, with Michael Dione on 407, and then we've got Daniel Nans in sixth on 395. Sean Riley, Brian Dudkowski, John Ouellette, and Richard Modric round out the top 10. We've just gone into qualifying now. As you can see, these drivers will have 10 minutes of qualifying to contend with. Then we will go into a 10-minute sprint race, and then we will do a 40-minute feature. But you've listened to me now long enough. Let's bring in Brad into the booth. Brad, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon to you, James, and good evening to someone somewhere in the world that's watching this. I like Watkins Glen. I like GT3s. I like the full configuration of Watkins Glen with the boot. This is going to be a good little morning jaunt for me. I enjoy this. This is called the Coffee Cup League. I don't drink coffee normally, but this league makes me want to start drinking coffee just for the fact that I have to wake up on a Sunday morning. But I don't mind it. I enjoy it. Championship is looking pretty good. Things are rounding out. Some big things in the works moving forward that I won't talk about, but you and me have talked about off air. So, yeah, I'm enjoying everything that OGRL is offering, and I'm really excited to see how this race, especially the sprint, ends up. I'm also excited to see how our man Bill Baca can figure things out.
Whether or not he can survive. Tyler Ruelas, you are making me exceptionally jealous. Good morning, James. Headed up to Long Beach for the IndyCar race. Rude.
Aww.
Rude. I'll take a program, Tyler. If you want to DM me, I'll send you my address. I'll take a program just, well, for the sake of saying, why not, right? So, there we go. Oh, dude. Do you know the only thing with that? Such high-powered cars on such a tight track, and all I can see is chaos. I don't know about you. Turn one in the fountain in an Indy car. Does not sound fun.
I mean, it's a challenge. That's one of those that I don't think I would ever want to do in real life, but I would 100% try it in the sim and see how many times I can wreck through the first 4 corners.
How many times can I leave my wheels in the fountain? That would be my challenge.
One.
Yeah, have a good scrub while I'm there. We are in qualifying, guys. We are just waiting for the times to start coming through. You can see they've got 7 minutes left on the board. We're on board with Brian Hoskins at the moment here, and I think Watkins could develop something rather interesting. I think it's such a overused circuit that everybody should be able to drive, but can everybody drive it properly? What do we reckon, Brad? Can the OGRL girls drive it properly?
Well, here's the thing is I tend to find that a lot of drivers don't practice the boot. I tend to find that a lot of drivers also really mess up that final corner. You can see here from the shot we have the yellow line there for the pit entry. Most guys are going to cut that down and not actually take that the proper way. In real life, you're supposed to stay outside. And then you tend to see a lot of issues in the final corner if someone wants to dive into the pits, somebody's trying to go through, and you tend to see lots of issues in the outer loop after the bus stop. After the inner loop, which is the bus stop, and then you get the outer loop down into the chute. That tends to be where you're going to see some issues come up as well, because guys just don't, it's downhill braking, it can be tricky, and drivers just don't anticipate it correctly. So you can get a lot of good time. This is a track, you said it yourself, James, everybody knows, but does everyone know it well? And these guys have done really clean, good racing the whole season. So I'm not too worried about that, but I'm just worried that someone's going to get a little too confident and it's going to create some problems.
I do agree with you. Tyler there, laugh. LMAO, it's been 5 years since I last went to this race. Well, you know, as I say, I'll take a hat I don't know, what else do I want? A race t-shirt from somebody I've probably never heard of in IndyCar. Maybe I should follow IndyCar, because I find F1 boring as hell. I've got to be honest, but then again, I've been watching NASCAR quite a lot. You know, just a program. All I want is a program, Tyler. No drama at all. I'll take one of them. That'll be absolutely amazing. I don't know about a burger or a hot dog. Probably could be a bit wrong by the time it gets to me. But let's, can you imagine? Let's keep up with what's going on in qualifying. Nathan Hello is out in front of 143.625. Damien Hoverton in second, 143.885. Damien new to the series this week. I do know Damien outside of OGRL. We joined OGRL via watching the broadcast. He is one of the JPB admins that work with me alongside some of the leagues that we do outside of this, and he's absolutely flying at the moment, going into second place. So an incredible job from him. In 15th, we got Fozzie Vazzillo in a very nice liveried Ferrari. I've got to be honest, that makes that thing look... oh, baby. So, yeah, some great liveries looking. And Brian Dudkowski out on the track, of course, in that 99 machine.
Yeah, you know, I love all the liveries. And I like that you handed over Brian Dudkowski because he's running the AO Racing Roxy livery. And you know that I love AO Racing. I've actually got some of their shirts on order that should be on the way in. We talked about that last week, I believe it was. So, I love all the liveries. I love that iRacing gives them that option where you can go through. 19 drivers have put in, you know, good consistent laps here. The field honestly is not spread out near as far as I thought, but it is the Frenchman up in the lead in the Porsche. This track should benefit the Porsches pretty well, as long as the Porsche doesn't try to, you know, just do what Porsches do and step out and create a mess.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't try and, you know, spin your back end round, that would be absolutely incredible. You have got an ex-Formula 1 driver, yes, by the name of Roman Grosjean, as well in NASCAR. There's also Pietro Fittipaldi, who's done some testing in F1. He's obviously in that, and obviously you've got the likes of Marco Andretti, Helio Castroneves. I'm surprised he's still going. I remember him from about 10 years ago, and he's still going in IndyCar. He must be, how old is he now? He's got to be about 60. Surely. Helio Castroneves. Oh, I remember him from absolutely yonks ago. So, yeah, maybe I'll have a look at that. And Takuma Sato, of course, is also in IndyCar. Sean O'Reilly is getting some purples on the board as he comes over the line in that BMW. That should shoot him well up into fourth. Great job from him. Cole Modric is another one that's struggling here today. Not had a representative time on the board. He's just gone over the line, puts it on a 147.6. That was probably more of a banker, and we'll probably see what he can do in these last few minutes. Scott Carlson moves his way up. What about Mike Elliott at the moment? Let's see how he gets on as he is coming into the final parts of the circuit. 4 corners left for him, Brad, and let's see how Mike can do.
Yeah, I think Mike is going to be pretty comfortable. Of course, that 150 I don't think is a representative time. He's got probably 2 more laps he could put in here as it goes, and we'll see as he runs coming out of into the boot, down through, going towards the heel, and again, tricky. The boot is tricky because a lot of it is downhill, off-camber braking, and it's kind of just, you got to be comfortable with your car and have a solid setup here. You see Brian Hoskins up into P22 now, as Mike Elliott is going to come out back onto the straight here and then go through the final couple of corners. We'll see, he looks consistent. He's setting green sectors, which is a personal best. He's not setting purple sectors, which would be fastest overall, but he is continuing to improve. We'll see here as he comes through the final, and it does look like he's going to actually just peel off into the pits. So that is interesting. He did something he didn't like there.
Yeah, clearly for him, as we've got Cole Modric coming round the final few turns here, the penultimate corner. Turn left, and then he's going to come down. He's got to nip it down into the right-hander. There's a dip just there. If he can get the car hooked up into the dip, that would be absolutely amazing. What's he going to do? Is it going to be an improvement? It should be an improvement. However, 3 greens and 2 yellows. It did improve, but only by 1 place. So, unfortunately for him, not to rub it in as well, I also have paddock pass. Go away, Tyler. You know what I mean? It's just rude, isn't it? Coming here, boasting about it, you know. I'm going up to see the British touring car on June the 9th at Thruxton, so no.
Oh, man.
Oh, there we
Long
go.
Beach IndyCar compared to Brit car. Interesting.
Mate.
Not a thing I thought I'd hear today.
No, you take. To be fair, IndyCar at Long Beach, chaos. Brit car, chaos just because they're going proper door bang and have a go at each other. It's going to be an absolute insane day. Here is the grid for round 9 at Watkins Glen. Nathan Noalo out in front with Damien Hoverton in second. Jacob Elliott in third with Sean O'Reilly in fourth. David Van Roy in fifth. Johnny Hamby down in sixth. Philippe de Cruz in 7th. Then Bill Backer, pray for Bill. Can he finish this race with all of his car? Alan Purser in 9th. Bradley Lovins in 10th. Pernell Hanley in 11th. From Rich Modric down in 12th. Nope. Stop. Please behave. Oh, dearie me. Then Brian Dudkowski in 13th, Samuel Belts in 14th, Fozzie Vazillo in 15th, Kevin Adrian down in 16th, Eric Gainsau in 17th, Scott Carlson 18th, Jonathan Williams 19th, William Bailey in 20th, Jesus Gonzalez in 21st, Brian Hoskins 22nd, Cole Modric down in 23rd, and then Gary Spencer down in 24th. Mike Elliott, Sean Bastarash as well, another one right the way down. Michael Chaplin, Heath Ollinger, Justin Koch, and Nick Marshall. All the way down the last car on the grid in 30th. A few surprises in that grid, Brad. I think a couple of them might have to do a little bit better.
Yeah, some of these names are way out of shape for where I expect. But the good news is, of course, 10-minute sprint, and Watkins Glen is a track that you can get pretty feisty on. You can get feisty in a GT3 here around. And so I think we're going to see some good stuff. They are going to do one pace lap here behind the iRacing safety car, which is a Porsche, because why not? So everybody will get a nice little bit of a warm-up here, get going. But, yeah, this 10-minute sprint, we should see some action. I don't anticipate, especially some of those guys that are out of place, kind of holding back and just sitting back. I would like to think that they would try to push forward a little bit more. We'll see what happens. So it's not going to be Long Beach IndyCar. It's not going to be Brit car, but I think we're going to see a little bit of side-by-side competitive action, probably some drama on the inner loop.
Definitely Tyler Morales. IndyCar or Long Beach is chaos. I can imagine, to be fair. I can absolutely imagine. What would be the odds that a car ended up in the fountain? I wonder if you can get them odds. Yeah, I wonder if I can go to a betting shop, Brad, and get some odds on a car ending up in a fountain.
I'm sure you could. Do I recommend it? Also, probably not. Because I feel like if a car ends up in the fountain, we've got bigger issues. But also is an option. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, we will see. As these guys are off around the inner loop, then they're, funny enough, they're coming to the outer loop, which is the long right-hander before they go running down into chute. Then you got toe, then you go across the boot straight, then you go from heel, and then we can aptly name turn 9 ankle, because, you know, we've got the heel, the toe, the heel, the ankle, why not? And then we can round it off the turn 10, we can call that the shin. And then round turn 11, we could probably call it the knee, couldn't we? Because by the time we've gone all the way up the leg, why not? As we started off at the toe. So let's see what's going to happen here as these guys are wandering around on that pace lap. I think 10 minutes here is enough for anyone, Brad, but they've got to make sure they can get up through the S's, right? Because the last thing we want is a parking lot going up through the S's.
Yeah, it's the last thing we want, and it's the last thing anyone wants, but it's also one of those that you need to keep in the back of your head. All these drivers are going to be keeping that thought in the back of their head that this is a possibility, that some sort of a pileup could happen. We've seen leagues that are traditionally extremely clean have big ones here. So, you know, just kind of keep it in the back of your head. Just keep a little bit of mental preparedness and run your race. And just know that the guys behind you are going to be real feisty to move forward, especially when you look at some of these guys that are at a place like Ollinger, Bastrop, Modric. You've got so many drivers that are further down the grid than I'm used to seeing.
Yeah, definitely there as well. I race in other leagues who race in the IndyCar. We had a race on Tuesday in Long Beach, lap 1, turn 1. Chaos was a nightmare. Tyler, can you DM me? Because I would DM me the link for that if it was broadcasted, because I would love to sit and watch IndyCar at Long Beach. So DM me the link, but let's get this up and running. The pace car lights are in. Nathan Allo does come the leader as of right now. Damien Hoverton's got to be a little bit careful not to overtake the leader there. Going across the line, he doesn't. Nathan bolts as these guys coming down into turn 1. Oh, already on the straight. On the straight, I'm not even sure what happened there, but that, I got a funny feeling, was Dukowski. But Nathan Aloho moves up and into the lead, leads us up through the S's for the very first time. Can they all get through here without any problems? Jonathan Williams, Eric Gainzel, Scott Carlson, Jesus Gonzalez, they all make it through. Alan Purser comes through as well. That start was a bit rough for the Dukowski on that one.
Yeah, don't know what happened there to Dudkowski. We'll have to see if we can get a replay back on that, which I'm sure you'll be working on. Alan Purser is down 15 places. Dudkowski lost out 17, so something with those two definitely caused a problem. But other than that, it looks like the field is mostly single file as we go down the hill here and head into the boot section. Alul is under pressure by Horvaten and is continuing to push there, the Porsches. And here we go. We can get a replay of what happened here, James. Pace car is in. What did Dudkowski do?
Yeah, he's coming down the line. I wonder if he gets a bump or a push. That's Kevin Adrian next to him in that red. Oh, there's just a slow car. Who is in that Merc? And why are we trickling?
Was it the Merc or the Lexus? I also saw a Lexus there that was going slow.
That's good, but we don't have a Lexus. Not in iRacing.
Oh no, that's the Lexus livery for the GT3, but it's actually one of the BMWs. So that's a Merc going very slow. Everything happens in front of them there.
Alan Purser. Alan Purser may be a little bit involved in that one. We'll have a look back, try and pick up on what Alan did. We've got Bradley Lovins on the run up through the S's. He's got Johnny Hamby right in front of him. These two Porsches locking horns. We got two Porsches, BMW, Porsche BMW, and then the Porsche Ferrari with our very own Bill Backer from Canada, the man that survived so far. Do we have all of our car? We do. Go, Bill. Let's see if we can get to the end.
I'm very thankful to see Bill have all of his car. And no, we are not biased here on the JP Broadcasting Network. However, Bill has just had it rough, and somebody is dropping through. Cruz, Adrian, and Fazillo just tumbling down the timing boards. And let me guess, this is the inner loop.
Yeah, I can guarantee that went on from Adrian Philip de la Cruz. But what happened with Fozzie Fazillo? Did they come in and try and go free wide? They did. Kevin Adrian, who's going to back out? Absolutely nobody. And, well, if you're going to go free wide and nobody's backing out, I can't really be honest with you on that one, guys. What the blinking hell are you expecting to happen? David Van Roy there in fifth. He's chasing down Jacob Elliott at the moment. Free wide through the bus stop. Not recommended.
Can I go ahead and give everyone a piece of advice? And this is coming from me, really. If you're three wide going into the bus stop and you're the car in the middle, just go ahead and brake about 50 meters earlier and just get yourself out of the middle. Let someone else be in that mess. Brake 50 meters early, get out of the middle, because those two are probably going to wreck each other, and you're going to gain 2 places in the space of one. So we see Riley trying to gain P2 here on a little, as Horvaten has gotten through there. So we have a Porsche BMW battle here for the top 3.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see these guys, Damien Hoverton, Nathan Allo, Sean O'Reilly, they're slowly moving away from Jacob Elliott and David Van Roy. Van Roy was very unlucky last week when a back marker may have been involved in what can only be deemed as him being down into third place. Less said about that one, the better. But yeah, that was very unfortunate for David Van Roy, and currently is sitting in 5th place. Bradley Lovins has got Johnny Hamby right in front, 2 Porsches together. Bill Backer and Rick Moderich just nearly made contact after Backer run a little bit wide. And then we've got Brian Hoskins doing pirouettes right at the moment. I was going to talk about him. Alan Persat and Dadkowski, who was involved in the incident right at the beginning. I'm not quite sure why Persat was going slowly. I will try and work that one out towards the end. But at the moment, Damien Hoverton out in front over Nathan Aloa and leading the race as they're going into the last 5.
Yeah, you've got the European leading the Frenchman, leading the American. So very interesting little blend of top 3 going on, but really it's the battle for the top 5 that's very close and competitive. Keeping things moving and forward here as we come back onto the main straight. You can see the top 5 separated by just like half a second each car, some of them a little bit less. We'll see if Alul can get a run down the hill here. It is downhill braking into turn 1. Can he get a run in that Porsche? He does not, but we see everyone taking a little bit of liberties on the exit of turn 1, running a little wide. But Nathan Alul, you can see here, Porsche versus Porsche, just keeping it smooth, keeping it consistent, and just trying to run through slipstream as much as possible as we head into the inner loop. Is he going to try to go for a lunge? He might try a lunge. He's going to dip back in there. I think if he had stuck the nose out there, but you see he backs off a little bit early, actually trying to get the better run through into the outer loop.
Yeah, too early. Put him right under contact with Sean O'Reilly. He's going to have to make that move past Hoverton. He's got to really put it in there. Not only has he got to get up right behind him coming out of turn 1 out of the 90 running up into the S's, he's got to be looking at trying to at least unsettle him, be alongside going into that bus stop. Make him think about what he's got to do. But the problem is for Nathan Aloa, he's then got to get either the car stopped or he's got to get the overtake done. You can't ever make sure that you're running in too wide and hope that the guy gives you room, because generally, as we've seen with free wide, it doesn't always work out so well. So we've got Van Roy, he's pushing to the back of Jacob Elliott at the moment. So a great battle with David Van Roy and Jacob Elliott as they continue to fight it out here, heading down through the last couple of corners. The penultimate corner, the left-hander, quite a fast left-hander, mind you, and then going down again, little dab of the brakes, maybe down, changing down into 4th, just to get the rotation on the machine, and then you're back on the throttle again. 2.5 minutes remaining. Can Nathan Aloa get there?
I think he can. I think it's just a matter of when more than if. Of course, he was in pole, and Damien was in P2, so I think these two may end up flip-flopping positions again as this race goes on. But again, it's just a couple of minutes left, so passing opportunities are going to be limited here to the end, but you can see they're very, very close. It's just Alul needs to get a run, and they also have lap traffic that's getting ready to come up into the mix there, and that would be P25 of Cole Modric and Kevin Adrian in P26 that are going to be just ahead of them there, and you can see actually probably catching them. There they are. What will the lap traffic do for the leaders becomes the question. That was a brave move.
Oh, hello, going around the outside, nearly putting it into the barrier, but you can see where he loses time. Every single time through the bus stop, he's got to be braver. You cannot, and I say this in a big wave, anybody that's run Watkins Glen, anybody that has gone through that bus stop and tried to take it right next to the barrier, you cannot half-heartedly do that barrier. You've either got to take it all or you've got to take none of it. You just 1 inch, 1 millimeter, one little bit out, and you're bouncing the car, because there is a wicked bounce in the middle of that curb. If you just get it all wrong, you're spinning, the barriers are waiting, and unfortunately for Nathan Aloa, as they're going on to the last lap now, he just does not look fast enough through that bus stop to make that difference.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Watkins Glen is you got to have the track knowledge, you've got to be comfortable in your car, but you've got to be confident in where you place the car, especially in that inner loop, the bus stop. That is what can make the difference for your race in these cars. That's truly where people gain and lose time where it's appropriate. And for Alul, I think he's going to be just relegated to second place at this point, unless he decides to get very, very brave here on this last lap. But I don't think he will as we go through. So 6 laps in 10 minutes. We'll see.
He's got to be brave. He's just not. Oh, he's braver than he has been. He's braver than he has been on other laps there, Brad. He did close a little bit. So let's see how he gets on coming out now. Down into the chute they go. He's got to be looking up through the toe if he's going to be trying to make that move on the inside. It's all about what he's going to do. You've got to get Hovertan off that outside line. He's giving you the inside. You went outside early. Now you've just got to run it. Let's hope the Porsche keeps his back end where it needs to be. Alul's going to try to cut back. He's coming back on the inside. Hovertan's trying to poke him out. He's on the grass. Oh, you've given it down. No. On the brakes. Damien Hovertan, wow. That was very, very spicy. Going around the last couple of corners, you saw it through 8 and 9. It was just unbelievable. Hovertan squeezing along like an orange in a juicer against that fence and against that grass and telling him going for it if you really want to. Nathan tried, but it is Damien Hovertan taking the victory in race 1. Nathan Alou, sorry, in position 2. Jacob Elliott in P3. I want to pick up on what's going on with Gainzel. He's having a good old little battle with Simon Belts down here, just not quite managing to secure the place there. And then you got John Williams, who looks like he's just lost that place to Jesus Gonzalez there. Oh no, they had a. Why have I got them as having a crash? Did they have a moment together? Oh no, are they just slow going up here? No. Oh. So like a pretty pirouette from 2 Mercedes. Synchronized pirouetting. That's a shame because I think that was getting quite a nice little battle as well. Just waiting for Nick Marshall to come over and see.
James?
Yes?
Make sure you focus on the leaders at the start of this 40-minute race, because I'll tell you right now, Nathan Alul is going to remember that. He's going to remember that entire last lap interaction. That's going to be an interesting race start that we go into this 40-minute heat.
Do you think Hovertan was a little bit overzealous?
I think Alul could have put him in the wall, and it wouldn't have been blamed on Alul in that situation. For the polite answer, I think Hovertan shoved him up on the grass, and if Alul hadn't backed out, Alul could have spun him in the wall and said, "Mate, you ran me in the grass. I had nowhere to go." And you wouldn't have been able to argue it. I'm not saying that that's what these guys would have done. Obviously, OGRL, very, very clean racing. I'm just saying that there's going to be no love given on the race start.
So you didn't answer the question. You just said no love given. Do you think he was a little bit overzealous?
It depends on who you're rooting for. Honestly, I probably would have done the same thing. If I'm in the lead and I'm defending the lead, I probably would have ran just as hard. So, but also if I'm the guy in P2, I don't know that I would have been as nice. So, depends on who your favorite driver was in the situation.
Well, I don't have a favorite driver. Unless
it's Bill Backer.
Unless it's Bill Backer, yeah. Everybody loves Bill Backer, right? I do feel it was a little bit overzealous. I do feel there was a massive block come. Whether or not he got it there just in time, we couldn't really see from where the angle of the camera was. So whether or not he got that block on him at the right time. Should he have gone at him twice? No, there was probably a couple of jinks too many for me, where Hovertan probably should have only moved once and then left him room, because I think Alou may have had a run on him there as well. So, yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, it's a 6-1 way, half a dozen the other sort of situation. Again, me saying depends on who your favorite driver. Obviously for us, unless it's Bill Backer, we don't play favorites. But you can justify it on either driver's perspective. And one driver is going to say, you know, hey, I'm in the lead. I'm defending for the win of the heat. You know, I'm defending for the pole position for the main event. The other driver is going to say, yeah, but I had the run on you and you forced me out wide and you were being aggressive. And the other guy's going to say, hey, it's racing. You know, what can you do? You should have passed me the other way. It's going to make for an interesting turn one if they both keep that mentality and if they both keep that run through. Obviously, you know, we have the little 5-minute warm up built in, so maybe blood pressure can go down a couple of steps, and we'll see how things go. But yeah, don't expect any kindness given in a 40-minute heat if that's how you're running on the 10-minute sprint.
Yeah, I think. Do you think, no, 40 minutes, they've got a little bit longer, right? They can manage it, can't they?
Race car drivers and sim racing drivers have the memory of an elephant. They're going to remember it all. It doesn't matter if it starts out on lap 1 or the white flag. I'll tell you right now, if the same situation comes in, our wonderful Frenchman Nathan Alul will not be letting that one happen again, and he will be trying to pass very, very hard. Otherwise, the interview is going to be interesting.
Yes. Well, there we go. Let's see how it all gets on and see whether or not these guys will. They've got to last 40 minutes, right? They can't just go careering into each other in turn 1, surely. Let's hope not. I'm all for battling, and I love a good little ding-dong, but I do think that they may need to take it a little bit easy.
James, hasn't it been Talladega week in NASCAR? Has anyone taken it easy on Talladega?
No.
Thank you.
Nobody's taking it easy on me in Talladega. I've had some wonderful conversations. There we go. I've had some very interesting conversations with some wonderful people this week, and some very interesting, here's my livery, how about you check it out closer moments. So there we go.
Oh, here's my livery. How about you check it out closer? That is, James, you're a master with words. I'll give you that. I have some things I could learn from you as time goes on. I couldn't have said that better myself if I wanted to, because, NASCAR is not my strong suit here in iRacing, believe it or not. Well, correction. Like, Cup Series is not my strong suit. Xfinities. I can run, the small short track, late models, open wheels. I do really like the road courses and, the IndyCar setups, which we need to get an IndyCar league on the channel now, James. Now that you've talked about IndyCar, and I didn't know that you didn't know a lot about IndyCar, we need to get you into IndyCar, because I do think you would like it a lot more than certain other open wheel series that are covered internationally that are nowhere near as entertaining.
No, definitely not. I think I'm sure we'll reach out and I'll have a chat with the admins of Delhi Tyler and see what we can work out and see if we can get a IndyCar league coming on for JPB. Let's see now as we're going to go into that 40-minute feature. Here is the grid. Damien Hoverton out in front with Nathan Alol second, Jacob Elliott in third, Vanroy fourth, Hamby fifth, Lovings in sixth, Rick Modric, excuse my teeth, in seventh, Bill Backer in eighth, Sean Riley in ninth, Pano Hanalat in 10th, Simon Belts in 11th, and Eric Gainzel down in 12th. Jesus Gonzalez in 13th, Jonathan Williams 14th, Bastarash worked his way up into 15th, Gary Spencer 16th, Michael Chaplin 17th, Justin Koch in 18th, Heath Ollinger in 19th, Dudkowski down in 20th, Purser in 21st. Let's hope them two together can get off the line this time. Scott Carlson in 22nd, Nick Marshall 23rd, and then Cole Modric ended up down in 24th. William Bailey, Mike Elliott, Felipe de la Cruz, Kevin Adrian. We saw what happened to both of them with Brian Hoskins and Fozzie Fazillo. For the Fazillo was involved in the Cruz and Adrian situation. All I will say on that one, guys, if you are going to try and take it free wide going in through that bus stop chicane, I'm not really sure what they should be expecting there, Brad, apart from chaos.
I mean, if you're going to go 3 wide into the bus stop and you're the guy in the middle, you pretty much know that your race is going to be over at the end of that. If you're the guy on the inside, you might get a little lucky. If you're the guy on the outside, you're probably going to be the one that causes the issue. So, but how about we just don't go 3 wide into the bus stop? 3 wide into turn 1 is fine. 3 wide in the bus stop, let's not.
Yeah,
that would be the easier one.
Yeah, that's definitely a no-go. Don't want to be doing that one. So hopefully, let's see that Alan Purser here does get off the grid this time and get moving. I'm sure the people in front would really love that. I'd love to find out what the hell went on right at the beginning, whether or not he thought he was going to jump the start and slowed right up. I'm not entirely sure. Can't think of much on a start rolling procedure that he couldn't have followed, Brad, apart from the speed, but there's no reason he should be going excessively fast when the cars in front of him are not. Can you think of anything else? He was on the outside, so it's not even like he'll get done for overtaking on the inside. I just don't get what the speed slow up was for.
The only thing I can think of that might have happened is that cars in front of him tried to jump and get a run and guesstimate, and then he tried to go, and then he realized he was wrong, so he slammed on the brakes. I don't know. We'd have to go back and watch it because I'm not entirely sure how he ended up in the situation he was in. You can see why I thought he was a Lexus, because he's got the big Lexus banner, because he's running that Sealmaster Lexus GT3 livery. Of course, the Vassar Sullivan team in IMSA, which all of these guys run really, really nice IMSA liveries. But Lexus on a BMW, you can see why it's a little confusing.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe it wouldn't be the first time. I wouldn't worry too much. And it is early morning. Let's be real for you. What was it, 9 o'clock or something?
Yeah, it's almost 10.
Oh, almost 10 o'clock in the US. It's almost 3 o'clock here in the UK. We are going to see what goes on with the battle between Nathan Allo, Damien Hovertan, Jacob Elliott, Ben Roy, Hamby, and Lovings. Because I feel this could be quite an interesting mix here. Whether or not Hamby's going to be able to close up, whether or not Elliott's going to be able to close up as well, I think it's going to be interesting, Brad, as well. Who's going to come out on top for the 40-minute?
I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be neither of the guys in the top 2 right now. I see fireworks in our future. I see fireworks in the future. Call me a predictor, but that is just, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Tyler Reed Ellis says it's 7 a.m. in California. It is entirely too early, sir. But thank you for being here. Tyler, who do you think is going to win? Who do you think survives this first lap?
He's on his way to IndyCar in Long Beach. I'm not surprised he's awake, to be honest with you. Right. Pace car's going to go in. Now we've got Havertan starting us off. There he is on the left-hand side. He's already gone. Now we're up and running. I just want to check in. Purser did make it off the line that time. Havertan did get the jump. Nathan Allo in second place at the moment, managing to hold on. Ven Roy and Bill Backer going side by side. Oh, no. Oh, no. There was a back out there, so well done, Bradley Lovins, for allowing Backer to come on. But we're up through the S's for the very first time. Nathan Aloha now racing hard with Damien Hovertan. Are they going to come out? Is this going to work out as they're going in now into the bus stop for the very first time? Nathan Aloha settling in behind him, Brad. Probably a good thing. No real dramas on the start for everybody. It looks like we've all got away for it very, very cleanly.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's made their way through the race start. I think everybody learned a little bit from that 40 minutes, or from that 10-minute feature for the 40 minutes. And again, I think it is a little bit of a driver mentality of understanding you've got 40 minutes to survive here, but we'll see what happens, because Alol is putting pressure on Horvatin again, and Horvatin again going very defensive. Now watch Elliott. Elliott wants to sneak up the inside here as they come around, and he's not there, but look at this side by side. This is where things are going to start getting interesting. We'll see how this goes through. It's Alol there to the outside with Horvatin on the inside. What can be done? Is there a little bit of a switch coming around? It does look like it is, as he tries to sneak through, and there's the big move for the defense from Horvatin. So Horvatin knows that the boot is his weak spot. He knows that that is where he really struggles, but he seems to have the inner loop figured out enough that if he can just hold on through the rest of this lap, I think he's just going to have to defend the boot every single time. But Alul is going to get faster and more consistent, and he's going to figure something out somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. I do fully agree. And now he's going to figure it out. He's come off that last corner. David Hovertan going on the defense, coming down into turn turn one. Allure's going to try and run it around the outside. Hobbiton's got to give him room on the outside. They don't. Ooh. They don't. They don't. He's coming across the track. Oh.
And they come together. Horvatin out. I told you fireworks were coming, James. I told you fireworks were coming. Watch this, side by side. Horvatin tries to run him wide. Alul says I'm having none of it. Alul's up into the fence, and Horvatin kicks back around. Alul still going. Granted, a missing front bumper, and you could see, from behind there was another big impact.
Yeah,
who was that happened behind?
That was a Jonathan Williams, I think, and a Simon Belt situation. Somebody's already gone round. There was another one. Whoa, there was quite a... Whoa.
And then Alul went off again. Okay, Watkins Glen doing what Watkins Glen does. Fireworks. So, Cole Modric, Damian Horvatin, Nathan Alul, Simon Belts, Jonathan Williams, Justin Koch, and I think Scott Carlson and Fozzie Fazzillo were all in that mess. And that's a Mercedes in the air. Oh, that's a hard hit.
Bro, they did all so well. We have got Modric pitted, Horvatin pitted, and Nathan Alul pit, Simon Belts pit, Jonathan Williams pit, Justin Koch pit, all on lap number 2. We've had the big one at Watkins Glen. Your money is on Mr. Dudkowski in the Rexy livery. I'm sure something's missing. Mr. Rexy's got no teeth.
Yeah, he needs to go to the dentist. It's okay, though. I'm sure he'll find a dentist here in a bit. Dudkowski continuing to drop down. Bill Bacca's in P10. Did something happen with Pray for Bill? What did we miss with Bill Bacca? Because he's in 10th place. He's dropped down quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there was something that went on here that may have caught out Mr. Bacca. No, it didn't. I do want to go back a little bit because I can't work out. There was definitely a drift out. There was definitely a drift out for Hamilton, and that was where the problem lied for me. And he definitely drifted out. Here's the next one. Williams is trying to come back on. I'm not even entirely sure why you're coming on at that pace compared to everybody else. And big smack from a Ferrari of Michael Chaplin. How did Cole Modric end up in that one? That's what I'm going to find out, I think, because there was enough room for Williams just to lift a little bit. This is what we were talking about lifting, Brad, when we talked about it in the green room. He had to just lift a little bit. You're coming onto the track. Lift, lift, lift. And that's what happened to Cole Modric. And he didn't lift, and this is what I'm not getting. You don't want to cause an incident, but yet you won't lift a pedal. And this is some of the conversations I've had this week running Dega in the Xfinity and in the trucks. It's an on switch, and that's it. He hasn't even got off. We're just going to go full pelt, smash into somebody, and then blame everybody else when we crash. It's just crazy. I don't even get why he lifted any more than I get why Hobbiton did not give Nathan Alul more room on the outside. He must have been told. He's alongside. Still there, still there, still there. I don't even know where he thought anybody was going to go. Like, I just don't get it. I really cannot physically understand where that driving was coming from. Was it spewing over from the first race? Was there still anger? Was there still tempers? Was there still mud between them? That's the only thing I can think of.
I think it's a case of two drivers that said, I'm not lifting, I'm not getting out. You're going to be the one that backs out. I think that's the thing, is everyone always assumes the other drivers will back out, and they don't need to. So in the case there with Horvatin and Alul, I think genuinely what that was Alul said, you know what, Horvatin will have to back out. He's on the inside. And Horvatin said, I'm going to run you wide, so you have to back out to get back in the racing line. And it just wasn't coming together. And then it was the same thing that we saw after that with everyone else. With Williams, it was, I don't need to be the driver to back out. He needs to back out and just go through. And the thing is that a bit of it is just race car driver mentality. Like, you've just got to as a driver, you've just got to know that the other guy is not going to be the one to back out, and you need to preserve your own race. It's not up to the other guy to preserve your race for you. You've got to preserve your own 40-minute race and continue running. So, and I think in the case of Bill Baca, he's dropped down a couple places, but I think some of that is conservation of his own race. I mean, look at Bill. He's going wide there to avoid the AMG, who gets a little bit loose there, getting onto the back straight. So Bill Baca, watching himself here and, showing a good job of preserving your own race. It's not up to another driver to protect you.
And the worst thing is for me is that big, long inside, right? Both of them, especially Nathan and Lowell, would have gotten off track, because now turn 1 is an off track. If you're over that curb, you are off. Regardless, I don't care if you can maintain speed through turn 1. If you are on the left-hand side, it is your job to come on safely. Williams he didn't even have to. I'm not even saying brake. It was a few millimeters as Bill going. Is he going to try the inside? No, back out, Bill. You doesn't look like Ferrari's quite got the pace there. Williams literally had to lift by a slight little blump up and down. That's probably all he had to give that car to be able to get on. And then he didn't. Just runs it. What you are off track. I do not care. You are off track. It's your job to get on safely. I swear to God, there shouldn't be any complaints about you didn't give me room to come back on. You're off. I don't have to. You're outside of the white line. Why am I going to? And Hovertan should have been with Alou, who's still on the track, mind you, because he was still literally on the curb at that moment in time, trying to get off the curb. Hovertan had the complete right-hand side to give that man room, and he didn't.
Go, Bill!
And I can guarantee they're going to wonder why they've crashed. And I can tell you why, because you didn't use your blinking noggin or the matter that God put it between your brains. Or between your ear rolls, I can say.
So, conversations to not bring up around A1 Mr. James Parfitt, blue flags, and safe rejoins.
There wasn't a safe rejoin. It wasn't even a safe rejoin.
Or lack thereof. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, but this is what we talk about with race conservation. What is better for Hovertan, right? Try and bully Alou, who's not going to be bullied, to make him back out coming around the first corner when his spotter would have been going car left, car left, car left, car left, car left, car left constantly. So he should have just moved over to the right to give him room. And Williams, the car was still there. He could probably see the car. This, for me, would be the worst thing. He could probably still see this car in front of him. Now, this is where the onboard is with Jonathan Williams. You see the Porsche in the bottom right-hand corner in the bumper cam. So he's off. So he's still there. I can see him. I can see him. I can see him. I can see him. And a slight little lift would have prevented that whole chaos of them ruining each other's races. Modric is out. He took a whack. Carlson's out. Facillo didn't start. Koch, Williams, Belts, Alou, Hoverton are all towards the back end of the field. Now, was it really worth trying to be a bully on lap 2? Absolutely not. So, I'm sorry, but you kind of get what you're given on that one. As my mother always used to say, you made your bed and a blinking lie in it. So there we go. As Bill Baca still continues to fight with Sean Basterach coming around turn 9. Got the inside line. Bill's on his way. There's still a whole Ferrari there. And I'm proud of Bill because I think he finished race 1 with that whole Ferrari as well.
Yeah, so a lot of drivers having misfortune, but I do think Bill Baca is quite comfortable here at Watkins Glen, even though the Ferrari doesn't seem to be the fastest, most comfortable. And Tyler asking if there's any Lambos in the field. I don't see one. I see a singular Audi. I see a few BMWs, a few Mercedes, a few Ferraris, but the majority of the field is Porsches, which is interesting to me. So I wouldn't think this would be a Porsche track. I really thought, the AMGs would do a little bit better here going through, but of course, some of the AMGs kind of took themselves out, so we'll keep watching here as Mr. Bill Baca is continuing to chase Billy Baca in P9, going up for P8 here on Gonzalez, and putting in some good pace. I've also been trying to keep my eyes up front a little bit with Riley and Roy, as David Vin Roy has been trying to put some pressure on Riley up front. That gap's opened up to over a second now, so I think Vin Roy has kind of lost touch, but Bill Baca continuing to try to move up the field, doing pretty good here. And then Hanlett, and this is going to be Rick Modric that is battling through.
Absolutely, the battles are still continuing. Gonzalez and Baca have just swapped places. Baca's on the outside. He's coming into the right-hander of Hill. He is going to get that line. He is not... Yeah, he is. Look at it. That's the difference. Look at the space Baca gives Gonzalez on the inside. Man, I could have got a blinking 40-wheeler, 40-tonner through that. You know, it's just... difference in using the matter. Oh. And as I say that goes on right behind him.
Now, what is the case that happened here? So you've got the AMG running wide. The BMW sees a space and just doesn't.
I think I can see where you're going, and I can understand where you're going with Purser. But I think the problem is watch Gonzalez get a wiggle. Just about there, he hit the brake. Purser had nowhere to go, especially with Gonzalez sat in the middle of the track. So it's always difficult, I think, on that one. And that can be decided as obviously, you know, the situation and the person braking in front of you. He's just got nowhere to go, has he? I can't even put a blame on Alan Purser on that one.
Yeah. Looking at it a second time, or a third time, really, I kind of agree with you there. It is a case of Gonzalez was just very... That was a weird one. So you really can't blame Purser for a lot there. Yeah, I agree with you there, James. Just getting another look at it. That was, yeah, just a car in the middle of the track. What do you do, really?
Yeah, where'd you go? You know what I mean? And I don't think Purser was expecting Gonzalez to hit his brakes. And the problem is when the car in front hits your brakes, you're definitely in trouble because you're going to have nowhere to go when you're going to make contact like that. Gainzel is now in 11th place. He's in that Mercedes. William Bailey in 12th with Philip De La Cruz in 13th. Kevin Adrian's 3.5 seconds back. These guys are the closest battle on your screen at this moment in time, as we'll jump on board with De La Cruz here. Not having a great time in the Audi, but then again, there's some quite corners where you've got to look at putting the power through the back wheels a little bit early, and the Audi doesn't really like that kind of application for it if he can try and hold, if he can help it.
Yeah, you know, saying it, it's interesting to say that Cruz isn't having a great race because you've got Cruz who's up 15 positions, about to make it 16 with a run there on Bailey. This group here, Cruz, Bailey, Adrian, and Hoskins, have had a very, very good run. They're all up over 10 places, with the exception of Bailey. Everyone's up 15 places or more, respectively, here, as you see. And again, we watch ahead, run wide, leave the room there in the BMW, be respectful around. They're side by side coming through the S's. Where do you go if you're Cruz? What do you do here? I think you just kind of tuck in. Don't make it 3 wide. Don't make it 3 wide, please. Just tuck it in. You're going in, and there we go. Early back off and say, you know what? I'm going to let these guys sort themselves out, and I'll just carry the speed and figure it out from there. That is how you take the bus stop.
I agree. William Bailey here in the Ferrari. De La Cruz in front. I'm not too sure if Gainzel's going to have the pace of De La Cruz. Well, as I say that, the overtake is done coming down into the chute there. Mike Elliott is a little bit further down. He's having a nice little scrap with Rick Modric. Harbertan was at one point battling, and I believe he might actually be out now. He is out, but he was having another little battle with, funny enough, Nathan Allo. So I'm not entirely sure what happened to Harbertan, but he's just out. Currently, there is Nathan. He's still running, but this middle packet starting to get this little battle, and it's just in that middle 9 to 13 spot where they're starting to make a little bit of gains, and see Kevin Adrian coming into it in the background.
Yeah, for the front of the field, they're spread out and pretty relaxed, but the mid-pack really is giving some good battles here all the way through. As we see Purser kind of the lead, you got to watch that wall on exit. I've seen a lot of drivers getting very, very close with that wall. They're not taking it out to dinner. They're not, you know, absolutely obliterating their cars, but they're getting close. And there you can see the Audi of Cruz, who thought about just a little bit of a dive to the inside there, but Purser shuts the door, and now it's the run through the S's again. This is where Slipstream can really be your friend and can really make a difference for your run all the way down into the bus stop, into the inner loop, whatever you want to call it. Depends on what fan you are of this track. If you're NASCAR or GT3, you're going to call it something different. But here we go. Ooh. You can see nobody thinking about a dive there. Everybody's staying just nice and single file. They know that sometimes it can take a couple laps to wind up the pass. You don't necessarily get it right when you go for it. This isn't a track where, you know, passing is just a simple case of I'm going to pass you and I'm done. It's a track where you have to set it up. And there we go. Cruz, bumps Purser. Little cheeky move there. You see Purser gets ran wide a little bit, and Cruz is there on the inside. They're still side by side going through the BMW and the Audi. Who comes out ahead here as they go through the uphill? I don't know how to feel about that one either, James.
I tell you one thing, Cruz is driving on the air of caution. The amount of... Oh, no.
What was that?
It looks like for Gainzel, he's gone and put too much application through the BMW's rear wheels on the brakes. What I will say for Cruz, though, is he gave a little bit more room than probably necessarily had to coming out of this corner. You can see he gets the job done around the outside, right? He goes up to the inside, he gives him a load of room, passes out there as well. Cruz now dives to the left of the track there. That gives Person the room to take the inside line, which he did do. If Cruz had carried on, would there have been contact? Well, only time would have told. And as for Eric Gainzel, he's literally got on a probably... Oh, no, wrong one. Probably applied too much pressure through that BMW and has gone and slammed the brakes on. Oh no, there was contact with the Ferrari behind. So there was contact with a Ferrari behind.
Was that Nick Marshall that was behind?
No.
No. That's Spencer.
William Bailey.
Bailey, okay. So Bailey's dropped way down now.
Yeah, he's in the pits.
Yeah, that was hard contact too. That was almost as if Gainzel just broke too early and Bailey wasn't expecting it. That was a hard hit there. Person's gotten back past Cruz again. So this battle is going to continue to rage on for a bit. And look out at the lead, Elliott and Riley. That's a half-second gap that is sitting there. So the top two about to become a very, very close battle, as well as we see finally Cruz trying to have the run here. And there it is. Purser is going to just slot back in, accepts that he's had the run on him. And there is that battle for P9 sorted.
Yeah, absolutely. But Sean O'Reilly in that BMW, you see him in the background there, is closing on to the back of Jacob Elliott. The pace is coming thick and fast. And it's going to not be long, I think. 20 minutes remaining, though. That's a long old time for Jacob Elliott to deal with this pressure from O'Reilly. And sometimes it doesn't always... Oh, that's such a scary corner. It doesn't always work out right.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to kind of watch here, Riley trying to run through on Elliott, because Riley is... You know, in the BMW, which a little more power, but I think it's also a little less happy. And as I say that, Elliott makes a big error there going into the boot. And Riley, pretty as you please, side by side now they go. To the inside is Elliott, to the outside is Riley. Who can make the stick? Or is either driver going to give space? They're side by side. Nice runs, side by side still. And as they run down, Riley really needs to be thinking about this corner. He needs to open it up. He's going to leave it a little wide. Elliott goes a little deep. Riley gives plenty of room, maybe more room than he needed to here. But now he's got the inside coming onto the back straight, and that is what he needed, because there we go. Riley now into the lead, but Elliott in the Porsche should be able to try to get a run down the main straight. A little bit of slipstream if he can keep up, and we'll see how this battle continues to develop, because I'll tell you right now, this one is far from over.
Has the Porsche got the speed on the BMW, do we think?
I think it's I think the BMW has a little bit more power out of the corners, but I think they're very similar in top speed. I think the Porsche may be a little more nimble into the corner entry, but I think the BMW has a little bit more power on corner exit. And again, that's all dependent on setup. If these guys set up the cars correctly, it can change a little bit and make things a bit better for them. And of course, if you are the Porsche right now, you're going to have slipstream on that BMW, which is going to help you quite a bit.
Just doesn't quite get there. Oh, that was a tap on the wall.
Whoa.
Man, they got
That wall will
bite you in the bottom.
Yep.
Bill back out here, find out what Pinero Hanalette. They're gonna go. Oh, back out, Bill, back out. Don't do anything stupid. He does.
Yep.
Hanalette, yeah, but
He's still got all his car parts. Bill still has all the car parts right now. They're a little damaged, but they're there. So Bill's just trying to battle, I think, for a top 5 and is up into P6 now, James. So 10-second gap to get up to Lovings. 17 minutes to go. That's going to be a tough one.
All right, we'll keep an eye on the last lap times and next lap times and see where Bill is. Obviously, Bill's just had the overtake in the middle. Gary Spencer has just lost that place to Rick Modric. Doug Spencer's lost the car. You're not saving it. Unfortunately there. But Gary Spencer just goes round as we just jump on board. Shaw Bastrash now with Philippe de la Cruz.
Yeah, Bastrash here with Cruz, and Cruz has been a feisty little car. So keep your eyes on good old De La Cruz and see where that one comes through, because I have a feeling that Sean Bastrash is going to have to do some pretty strong defense here as we go through the out of the seat. Pretty comfortable too. Again, while most of the field is in Porsches, seeing these different car manufacturers that have all seemed comfortable has been pretty nice to watch. I'm not going to lie. Cruz here will be right on the back of this Porsche with slipstream down the main straight. Is going to peel out to the inside line. And can he keep the run? And it doesn't look like it. Looks like as soon as he hit that wall of air, he stalled a little bit. But early on the brakes goes Basterak. And it is Philippe de la Cruz, who is now up into 8th place. But big gaps to try to make up to Hamlet.
Yeah, it's a long way. 8.4 seconds. You know what I mean? That's and that's a little bit hard with 16 minutes to go, unless all of a sudden De La Cruz is pulling out minutes over Hanalette. And I can tell you at the moment he's close to 1.8 seconds. 1.8, 3.672 on the 4, 189, 9 seconds over the next 5 laps. With 15 minutes to go, 144. This is going to be close. Very, very close. A for effort on that save, absolutely. He did try. And unfortunately, the car just said no for Mr. Spencer there. Let's go Cruz. So it's K1 Rick Gaming and YouTube as well. Yeah, he's doing a great job. Philippe de la Cruz up 19 places, Brad. He's clearly got some pace, but it just makes you wonder if he can go any further up than that.
Yeah, it's just making up for the qualifying, honestly, is I think what that is. I don't think Cruz can get up much further because the gaps are too wide to make up maybe one more place on Hamlet with 7.5 seconds to go with 14 minutes left of racing. So possibly one more place, but I don't think much more than that. But even then, recovery drive up 19 places, Philippe de la Cruz. Up 18 places is Brian Hoskins. Up 14 places is the driver we're watching right now, Kevin Adrian. So lots of drivers with lots of good ups. Of course, the heartbreak of the day, other than Horvaten, who is out from a moment that I think will be talked about for a little bit. And then Belts, of course, down in 24th, is down 13 places. So lots of drivers having good races, lots of drivers having bad races. Riley up in the lead, though, up 8 places. So pretty good run, too, from Riley.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be interested to see what does get discussed about that situation after. I will be keeping an eye out just to see who's been doing what and who's done what here. as we've got Heath Ollinger just being overtaken by Kevin Adrian. Is going to go around the outside into the chute. A great job from him. Moves himself up now, Kevin Adrian, into 13th place. Can Sean Bastarash hang on as he's got Alan Purser closing up behind him?
I think he can. I think he can. He thinks he can. The question is, will Purser allow that to happen? It's going to be a very, very close battle. Man, some of these guys are really giving good battles. Some of the field is really spread out, and it's kind of caught me off guard. I really thought the Glen was going to be a lot closer of a battle all the way through this race, but with 13 minutes left to go, other than Bastarak and Purser, back in Hamlet are right there at about a second. The leaders are about 1.3 through, and look at this. Here we go. Purser looking up the inside, Bastarak to the outside. It's actually going to be a lap car getting in the way as well. So I thought we were going to see a move, but we don't there. So Sean Bastarak trying to take advantage of the lap car to get a run, and he kind of is. And now if you look up front, it is Roy there in third place. He's 9/10 of a second there off of Elliott. He's trying to make a run and go through the top three as they go through the boot. You've got close battles, but they're close on the timing table, but we're not seeing a lot of movement happen.
We're not seeing a lot of movement. Purser, however, has got Bastarash there in front. You can see Alan Purser battling away with Sean Bastarash there. Really unfortunate for turn one. I went wider and Nathan went tighter on the exit. Did he though? We discussed it and it's all chill between us. If the admins penalise me, I won't argue with it. Okay, Mr. Hoverton. I'm just going to probably keep quiet.
Yeah, that's I'll be watching that replay a few more times when we're off air before I really form any strong opinions, because it's like I said earlier, the drivers can argue it their way. It's the same thing, you know, with Formula One teams love to argue protest of, oh, a car was stopped for 60 seconds. How dare you let him continue? But the car was stopped for 60 seconds because it was a safety issue. But what do I know? You know, drivers are going to argue it and be very opinionated about their decision and their opinions on what happened. And at the end of the day, admin's job is going to be to figure out who had the stronger and more correct opinion. But again, you can, you know, 6 one way, half dozen the other. This is Simon Belts, and I have a feeling that, is this too much curb?
Gonna hit the curb.
Yeah, too much curb on exit. Ouch.
I've got a funny feeling William Bailey may... Oh, no, that's Bill Packer. Oh, Bill, please survive this.
No, Bill. Not Bill.
He's going to go round. Take the inside line. Take the inside line. There you go. He does survive.
Bill.
Good job. Good job. And then the last one here, Mr. Gainzel in that Mercedes. That's going to go up into turn 9 in the ankle. And he's going to go and spin it up there, whether or not that's on the entrance. Just about managing to hold it from Gainzel. Do you know the interesting thing for me is not the fact that obviously Gainzel managed to hold that issue, that situation there. It was the one that we saw earlier on with Gary Spencer, I think it was, who it's so painful when you're in that car and you can see it spinning, but yet he just couldn't do anything about it. And it's like a... But, you know, it's very hard to control, isn't it, from when you can just see that very slow spin happening that you cannot stop.
Yeah, and the thing is, drivers will do everything in their power to save it, but not a lot they can do through... It hurts, honestly. You're sitting there and you know what's happening, you're just kind of like, And Tyler, I'm ignoring your message. I'm ignoring your message. I have no opinion. I don't want to get myself fired today. How about that?
Bother me. So, well, just obviously without the language. Sean Bastarash got through on Hoskins. Hoskins is coming back at him here. And this guy's going to be running out. Hoskins on the inside in 10th before Bastarash. does not manage to get through there. And unfortunately for Sean Bastarash, it's going to be another lap behind Brian Hoskins, probably there as well. I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, Tyler. I don't think it was a fair decision.
Oh, James, are you trying to get your YouTube channel shut down? Because that's how you get your YouTube channel shut down. We don't discuss these things. We don't discuss these things.
But
You play the safe card.
it could be Dubai 2021 in the European touring cars or the Asian touring car series. Who knows what that message means from Tyler Ruelas there as well. It's cryptic at the best of times, and all I'll say is you can probably Google it and you might find what it works out as. To be honest, whatever. That's literally all I can say on that one. Jacob Elliott. It's got David Venroy closing. We're on lap 19, 7.5 minutes to go here. We've lost Coke. We've lost Gonzalez, we've lost Hovertown, we've lost Modric, we've lost Carson, Fazillo didn't start. Some big losers over this second race here, and I think maybe a couple of people might need to have a look and turn around and go, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Well, and here's the thing as a driver, it pays well to do some self-reflection after the race. And, you know, as a driver, one of the things that you really can do, and I'm not just saying this because I'm here, but is go watch a broadcast back. Because sometimes when you're in the driver's seat, you're going to have your opinion. And then when you watch the broadcast, you hear the broadcasters, share their opinions. And you go, you know what? Yeah, I was in the wrong. Or, this driver did this. And, maybe next time I'm going to do this. So as a driver, especially if you're looking to improve, go back and watch the race back. And even if it's just, the fun with iRacing is you can go back in and watch the replay. Just do what you can to try to improve and go back, look at different angles, different camera views, different perspectives, right on board with the other guy and see what they were doing. I do think for some of these guys, there's a little bit of self-reflection that's going to be happening of like, okay, what did I do wrong?
Didn't lift. Didn't leave enough side on the inside rim. I'm aware. I do love the fact that you've told me, Tyler. All I can say was in reference to Bradley's comment earlier on F1. Yes, I'm aware what it was in reference to.
We're trying to not talk about it. That's the thing. We're trying to not bring it up. We're trying to play the F1 politically correct spectrum of not getting an entire fan base against us.
Innocence is the best key. So we're just innocent. We don't know what you're talking about, Tyler. God blimey, you're not supposed to drop us in it. You're supposed to be on the outside.
Listen, Tyler just wants an IndyCar race. He doesn't care about F1.
No, tell me about it. He just wants to go watch it crash into the fountain. As Hoskins is closing down on Alan Purser with Sean Bastarash. I can't believe he came out and told us.
All right, well, we have broken one Mr. James Parfitt here as we go through with Purser and Hoskins continuing to battle P9. 5.5 minutes left, and, I don't know how this race ends.
No, I can't really see. I think Riley's got this. I think Riley, as long as he keeps it on the circuit, has got this one locked up, Brad, right? I think that's probably where we're at. Elliott and Venroy is a different story. They're not very far apart, but they've only got 5 minutes. So whatever they're going to do, they've got to do quick. We've got the Hamby Lovins back at Hamlet Cruz situation cemented. But it's here. It's Purser, Hoskins, Bastarash. What are they going to be able to do? What is this back marker going to be able to do? Of course, being under the wonderful world of please remove yourself from a fight that doesn't have somewhat of a situational circumstance on your opinion within a race of what is it actually going to change your position by keeping up with people in front of you currently at this moment in time. I'm not entirely sure. I probably would have liked you to maybe remove yourself from that situation going down the boot there, Brad. But we're still not. So, let's...
Yeah. It's
unfortunate because now Bastarash has lost 1.1 seconds. So... it's frustrating. Please don't please don't.
Why? Why were you on the inside line? Why were you doing that? Why are you still battling, Bailey?
I don't really know. I don't get it. I understand keeping up. And have you got Chaplin? Yes, Chaplin is behind you and you're battling for position. I do get that, but please don't get involved in the leaders, because I can tell you what, after that one, you be involved with the leaders on that one, your name is going to be dirtier than mud in the water. I can tell you that one. And unfortunately for that, you've just ended up putting yourself off the grass at the bus stop, which is allowing Chaplin to go through anyway. Alan Purser, Brian Hoskins, don't go there, Brad. I'm being politically correct this morning. Don't say anything. Stop it.
I didn't say a word. I am just enjoying a good, strong battle between Purser and Hoskins in the battle for P9 to figure out who's going to be in the last of the top 10 places. I'm enjoying that, and I'm also enjoying Elliott and Vinroy there, P2 and P3 battling it out. So we've had a couple battles shape up with 2 minutes and 45 seconds left to go here, James.
Yeah. I think this could be interesting to see, and I'm wondering whether or not Purser's going to be able to hold on from Hoskins. I'm also going to be definitely scared for Elliott. Oh, Riley's out! No!
Riley! Oh, and then he backs into the barrier.
Do you know the worst thing?
Insult to injury.
That is anger. That is pure, frustrated craziness. He lifted the wheels, the car wasn't settled down, he's on the and then this is just anger, because you don't need to do this. You had more track than you probably need, to be fair, for Sean Riley. And what has he done within that car? Because whether or not that car is remotely
there's no way. It's F's in the chat to pay respects to Sean Riley, who had led for a hot minute, and I think that BMW
is...
I don't think he's going to place top 5.
No, I'd be very surprised. I don't know if he's going to hang on from Lovins. He's got 1 minute there as well. Dominic's ATX, James needs a pint. Mate needs a hug. Oh, either one. To be fair, it is the afternoon in the UK, but I do unfortunately have quite a lot of work on today, so it's definitely not a good idea this early on in the day. I think Hamby may clear O'Reilly here. We're going on to, I believe this will be the final lap. Barney is waving, there we go. So the final lap for him. William Bailey is down in 22nd place. We've seen what was going on with that one. Alan Purser has got Hoskins there. You can see literally right behind him at the moment. They've got one more lap to configure this one out. And Sean O'Reilly and Johnny Hamby, well, Hamby's just got this straight and this lap to work this one out.
Yeah, and honestly, I think he might have it done on the straight, because look at the damage on the rear wing here as we go in, and never mind, he's going to set things up into the bus stop here. We'll see what happens. I do believe that Sean Riley has learned from his last bus stop fiasco. It sucks as a driver when that's how things come down. 40 minutes of racing, and with just 2 minutes left to go, you accidentally spin in the corner that you've nailed so many times. I mean, it's frustrating here. Hamby needs to find a way past, though. This is final lap. I think Hamby's trying to push, but now Hamby needs to also make sure to not compromise his own race. Is Johnny Hamby. We'll see how this ends up.
Yeah, I think that's the thing for Hamby is, do you compromise your own race, or do you turn around and go, is it really worth it? Well, one man is going to get it and is going to be worth it is Mr. Jacob Elliott. Is locked in to a win. He had his luck last week as well in the feature. He's now got it again. And in the feature, Jacob Elliott is your winner. David Van Roy will come over in second. Sean O'Reilly is not going to get there, and I definitely thought he would get there, but he did not get there. Hamby did not get there. Sean O'Reilly did manage to hang on to that third place. So a great start, for a great finish for some of these guys, but Sean O'Reilly, I can guarantee there could be a few little bits and moments of red mist.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Riley is... I hope the wheel is not detachable. If he's running a Moza or a Thrustmaster, I really hope the wheel isn't detachable. Look at the burnouts down there at the bottom of your screen from Elliott. That is how you celebrate a win properly at Watkins Glen. And then we see here, Lovings is through. Everybody's through. Hoskins just barely missing out on P9 there with Purser. And then you've got Ollinger that is trying to chase down Dudkowski, who has had a up and down day so far. Dudkowski there in P13 and Ollinger in 14th. Roxy and Rexy will bring it across the line together. And then Modric is there in P15. And then Alul in 16th place, 25 seconds back, who's had a race to be discussed.
By who? that's the question. Who's going to discuss it? Don't bring me in.
Not me.
No, don't bring me into it either. I will, leave me well out of it. As Nathan Lowe comes over the line. There was I don't want to be anywhere near that box. So we'll give these guys a last minute. We're just waiting for poor old Gary Spencer at that very slow sprint to come over the line, and we'll be able to bring you up the results now. And these are the results of race 2. Jacob Elliott is your winner with David Van Roy in 2nd, Sean Riley 3rd, Johnny Hamby in 4th, Bradley Lovins in 5th. Bill Backer survived with the car. We can no longer have to pray for Bill in one piece. Pernell Hanlett in 7th, Philippe De La Cruz in 8th. Then we've got Alan Purser 9th, Brian Hoskins in 10th. Sean Basterach in 11th with Kevin Adrian in 12th. Adrian up 16, Hoskins 19, De La Cruz 19, biggest gainers so far. Then Brian Dudkowski, Heath Ollinger, Rick Module, Nathan Alou, Gary Spencer and Eric Gainzel. And then further on from that, you've got Nick Marshall, Michael Chaplin, Jonathan Williams, William Bailey, Simon Belts, Mike Elliott. And then we go down into the non-finishers, Justin Coke, Jesus Gonzalez, Damien Hoverton, Cole Modric, Scott Carson and Fonzie Fazzello, who did not take to the line to start the race. And let's have a look and see who we can bring in to the booth here. Brad, let's have a chat let's start off this time. We're going to go top to bottom with Jacob Elliott. Jacob, welcome in, dear sir. Can we safely say Lady Luck has been on your side for the last 2 weeks and it continues here today?
I don't know if it's luck, right place, right time, but I was telling David in the warm-up, I kind of rubbed my crystal ball and I said, those first 2 guys, watch them wreck. And sure enough, took each other out.
But the problem is we called that up ever in the booth at all. Brad literally said, before you'd even started on the pace lap, Brad turned around and went, it will not be one of the first 2 guys that are going to win. There's going to be fireworks. And there was.
Yeah, we watched that heat race, or I watched it from P3. David watched it from P4. And going through the bottom part of the boot, they were running each other in the grass. One of the guys in the black car was making a couple moves. Nathan was making a couple moves back, but hey, right place, right time. I'll take it though.
Hey, 2 weeks in a row, mate. I would take it as well. You know what I mean? Rub that crystal ball before every feature race if you got it, because you've done an absolute exceptional job. We're going to Sebring. What do we reckon on the Porsche at Sebring?
Right now, I cannot get... I know I've been winning, but I cannot get this Porsche to work. You saw I kind of jumped out to a little bit of lead, and then both those BMWs ran me down. It's going to be tough to tell. I don't have too much faith, but I told you guys last week my goal, finish 1 place ahead of Hamby. That way I keep that championship lead, race with my head, be smart.
That's all you can do.
Hopefully we can bring it home.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is you finished 2 places. He did not clear Sean Riley there right at the end. Well, Jacob, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure, as it always is. Congratulations on your win, dear sir. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Definitely. Shout out Team 53 and all the guys over there. Amazing sponsors. And, of course, my wife. And you guys for an amazing broadcast.
Awesome. Thank you very much for your kind words, Jacob. Look forward to seeing how you get on, and let's hope you get that Porsche ready for Sebring.
I appreciate it. Have a good day, guys.
And you. Right, now we're going to go into second place here with David Van Roy. Needed a bit of the luck this week. He got some luck. It was well deserved after the feature race last time out in Road America. Let's bring him into the booth. David, welcome in, dear sir. Congratulations on your second place.
Oh, thank you so much. I was fortunate enough to be able to be there, you know, kind of in the top 5. The first guys out there were just running away with it, especially in the heat race. And then I couldn't quite taste down Jacob. And then Sean was just all over me. He was so fast out there today. And I just got to a point where I'm like, I'm going to let you go around a little bit. Maybe I can learn something from you. But I'm fortunate that he kind of spun out there at the end. So appreciate the luck this week.
Oh, mate, absolutely. After last week, it would have been very, very interesting, I'm sure, in the Van Roy household, of course. But going forward, BMW, renowned and known for kind of eating the curbs, and it can do it in a way that it just does not cause it any problems. Sebring, can it eat the bumps? That's going to be the question for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping so. I'm hoping I can kind of balance the car around it. It's, I like the BMW. I like the way it's kind of good at nothing type of car. I mean, you know, it's which means that it's equally balanced, I guess. But yeah, I'm going to try to figure this thing out. It's just not. It wasn't some tracks. It just doesn't turn quite as well as some of the others. Some it doesn't have the power down the straights. But if you can balance it, it should be okay. So I'm hoping. I like Sebring, so I'm hoping it works out.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good one. I think it will be a good one, because I think at the end of the day, the BMW is strong there. And dude, you know, after last week and everything else, you just deserve all the luck that anybody can send you, to be blatantly honest. But, you know, I'm interested to see how that BMW works at Sebring. I think it's going to be amazing. Let's see if Jacob Elliott can get his Porsche set up, because at the moment he can't even get it set up for Sebring. So going forward, that could be an advantage for you. But well done on your second place, dear sir. Is there anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, I appreciate the OGRL putting everything together, and the folks spending time each week just taking the time to get us all prepared and ready to go. These guys are fantastic, and I want to thank my wife for giving me the opportunity to hang out in the basement and do this. What seems like all the time. I'm sure she rolls her eyes all the time at me when I go downstairs and do this, but I love you, honey, and appreciate all your support.
Oh, nice. Good run there, Dave. David's guaranteed his spot in the bed for this evening. So well done to you.
There you go.
Take care, buddy. Have a good one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right, and next up now, I'm going to presume this is Bill Backer here, up in the booth, has joined us. Bill, welcome in.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
I am amazing. How are you?
Great. Well, can you believe my workshop bill will be less this week?
I can. I am so amazed. We got through a tough circuit at Watkins Glen, barriers both sides, and you finished both races with a car in one piece.
Yeah, no, it feels good. That was the plan today. That was get out of trouble, and we had a nice fight, so that was cool. I like it.
Yeah, it was. It was good. You were moving up in that feature race. You moved up quite a lot in the first race as well. Did Ferrari have pace here, do we think?
A little bit better than other places, I would say, but it is not turning. Like, I have struggled to balance the car where it should turn on, especially high-speed corners. So it just plows, and I'm eating or eager for the next season, let's say, where we're gonna get another one.
Yeah, I think that's it. And do we think we'd need another one, Bill? Do we not think there's other areas in iRacing we could probably do with a little bit of work first?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, everybody has something to improve. Yeah, for sure. But we're working on that every day, so here we are.
I think that's the thing. Look, mate, to be honest, this first half of the season, I think if we ever wanted to develop amnesia, now would be the good time, right? Because it's been a tough beginning for you in this series.
Yeah, I've been unlucky a little bit. I mean, it just happens. Sometimes when I'm known to overdrive a little bit, so when you try too hard, some things, sometimes it's not good. So here we are. Like, that was the plan today: chill and just finish where we end up. And this is it. This is probably my spot every race, like 5, 6, unless something really crazy happens. So, shout out to the guys. They are at the front. They are really fast. Shout out to everyone that praised the last few weeks.
Hey, it's been a big movement, Bill. We've had a lot of prayers going on. I can tell you that much. People putting it on the car for you. We've had people praying in YouTube chat as well. And you've finally paid off.
Yeah, no, I'm just here to have fun. So that was the plan today. Getting into the interview just to have a little bit of fun with a few. Punchlines.
With the commentary crew that started the Pray for Bill movement in OGRL after about race 2. So, what more can we ask for? Bill, look, I'm just so pleased you finished with your car in one piece. I'm absolutely incredibly happy that you finished in 6th place. Is there anyone you want to shout out, Bill, before we let you go?
I want to shout out you guys for being so awesome and professional. The broadcast is amazing. We love it. And yeah, shout out to you guys.
Awesome stuff. Well, Bill, thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure. I feel like I'm talking to my idol, my superstar celebrity in a league that I've broadcasted on. Absolutely amazing. Bill, my pleasure chatting to you, buddy. Have a good day, and let's see if we can survive Sebring.
Yep, you too, mate.
Take care.
See you in the next one.
Oh, that was I don't know. That was very surreal. I did not have Bill's. Yeah, I did not have Bill's voice down as that. I got to be honest, but it just I felt like I was talking to me celebrity, like me. I don't know, Checo Perez or somebody else. You know what I mean? It was just, I don't know. It's quite a surreal moment for me. I feel a bit emotional.
Yeah, no, that was really cool. I'm not going to lie. I liked the fact that we got to talk to Bill and that Bill finally finished a race.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Amazing. So there we go. Right, guys, that's going to wrap it up, I think, for us here on the JPB YouTube channel. Don't forget, we've got lots more racing coming up today as well on this fabulous Sunday. We've got iFormula coming up later on in probably about an hour and a half's time. They're at round 11 at Suzuka. FTR events, the final round for them as well, so come and check them out. And then we go to IGP Fun Series, so stay tuned for everything that's been happening on the JPB YouTube channel as well. Tyler Ruelas, have an amazing day at the IndyCar. Don't forget my program on that one, but everybody else who has jumped in, thank you so much here. We got a rush at the end. Quinton Labour, driver of the day. Lyrics Gaming for coming in, and Damien popping in earlier on as well. Dominic ATX, Pilot Brad Rad, and of course our very own Bradley Dalton. Sean O'Reilly coming in, literally going to go and pick up Quidditch. So let's see how that one goes out for him. But for now, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Take care. Have a wonderful day. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Take care.